Hello everybody, here's another instalment of Tales from the Village Green, although this episode could well be called Tales from the Town Square because it concerns the market town of Gainsborough in West Lindsey. Gainsborough has a population of just over 18,000, which by the channel standards is pretty large. However, in footballing terms, it's tiny. You see, Gainsborough is one of the smallest towns to have ever had a team in the English Football League. Gainsborough Trinity were members of the league's second division from 1896 until 1912. These days they play in English football's 7th tier in the Northern Premier League, but here's the weird thing, until very recently they'd never been relegated, so how did they drop 5 levels? To understand that, we have to understand how the Football League used to work. In its early days, if you finished the season at the wrong end of the Football League table, there was no automatic relegation to a lower league. Instead, you had to be re-elected in order to stay in the league for the following season. If you were unsuccessful in being re-elected, you were replaced by another team. That's what happened to Gainsborough when they finished bottom of the second division in 1912. They were replaced by, of all teams, local rivals Lincoln City. Effectively now a third-tier team, Trinity would play mainly in the Midland League, but they would reapply for membership again several times. They were never successful. The Midland League would eventually disband, and Trinity would find their way into the Northern Premier League in 1968. Meanwhile, the Football League underwent expansion from the 2 divisions it had back in 1912 to its current setup of 4 divisions, effectively dropping Trinity 2 more levels through no fault of their own. Then, in 1979, the Alliance Premier League was formed, a league that would sit at the 5th tier of English football. Its founder members were drawn from the Southern League and the Northern Premier League, and Gainsborough was not one of those to be chosen. That meant they were now a 6th tier team. The Alliance would change its name to the Conference, and the Northern Premier League would drop a further tier when the Conference North and Conference South were formed. These 2 divisions were formed in 2004, using the top-ranked teams from the Northern Premier League, Southern Premier League, and Isthmian League from the previous season. Gainsborough were one of these teams, meaning they retained their 6th-tier status in the Conference North. The Conference North would eventually be renamed to the National League North. And even now, they're only playing in the Northern Premier League because they were relegated for the very first time a few seasons ago.